All right, if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise the morning right here from our headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, Enterprise Television it is. And now, let's move to our main conversation for today. Does Nigeria need a new constitution? And is a new constituent assembly what is needed to achieve that?
Well, for the Patriots, a non-partisan group of eminent Nigerians, the answer is a bold yes. In fact, they want President Bola Tinubu to indeed convene the said National Constituent Assembly to produce what they describe as a People's Democratic Constitution for the country.
Now, Emeka Anyoko, former Commonwealth Secretary General, made the call when he led the Patriots on a visit to the president. Anyoko briefed the State House of journalists after the meeting and said the leaders of thoughts conveyed to the president the view that Nigeria needed a people's democratic constitution. He said, Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia existed for as many as 100 years as one country, but eventually disintegrated because they could not manage their pluralism through a truly federal constitution.
Very true. He said the Patriots also talked about the current protests throughout the country and advised that lethal force be no longer used in quelling protests and adopt dialogue instead.
All right, with us in the studio still to do justice to this very important topic, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid and Emeka. Thank you so very much for hanging around.
Thank you.
Let's get into this very important. I'd love to start with you, Barrister Tunji. You've been a very strong critic of the fact that what we need are revamped, rebranded people and not a systematic change in our country. Now, they're calling for a new constitution. Well, your take on that?
Well, thank God you know my stand and you know where I've always been. I've been consistent in that. I'm not saying that our current constitution is perfect. I am not saying that our current constitution has no lacuna. I'm not saying that our current constitution is what's it called? Doesn't have any. It's perfect. I'm not saying so. And that is normal all over the world. No constitution all over the world is perfect. No constitution all over the world covers everything that you need. So based on that, I want to say that I'm not a supporter of constitutions are a problem. I'm not. I don't believe so. You know why? The constitution we're talking about, there are some things that are happening today that are not supported by constitution. Yet it's happening. And nobody is doing anything about it. Let me give you the recent example. This local government autonomy that we're talking about. From our constitution, there's local government autonomy. We have it there. The current constitution that we have, there is local government autonomy there. There is nothing in that constitution that says states to collect money and not give it to local government. What the constitution says is that Section 162 that is that you collect the money and share to the local government based on the joint account they are operating. Pay the money into the account of the state, and state will give it to the local government. And state are not giving to the local government, and you are blaming the constitution. Is that the problem of the constitution? So I've always been saying that look, our problem in this country is not about our law. In fact, as I'm concerned, if we don't do any law in the next 10 years, we have laws already on ground that can at least, if well implemented, if we implemented with sincerity, with genuineness, we'll get results. That is a position in that regard. So for me, I don't believe that there's a need for us to. It's a changing of the constitution will cure our problem. It will not. Who are those that will enforce the constitution that what we're going to do? Who are those? It's not a set of people. Those that will form the constitutional assembly they want to form or whatever. Who are those that will be there? The same set of people. After the implementation or after the approval or the constitution has been, let's assume that the constitution is now in place, who will implement it? The same set of people. So if your attitude is, if you are still behaving the way we are behaving today, and you have a brand new constitution, do you think anything will change? A situation whereby the government will wake up today, we have a law that says once you attain the age of so thing, you retire. And then the government will come and bring the law to amend it because you love the person that is in charge, or because they want him to continue, and you say the conscience are a problem. So for me, there are so many examples of this clear provision of the constitution regarding qualification of election, regarding who can contest, who cannot contest, regarding this and that. Look at what happened at the last election. Electoral Act is our law, because our electoral Act is part of the constitution. It came out of the constitution, background of the constitution. Did we follow it? Look at the Plateau State, for example. What was used to disqualify the House of Rep members and the House of Assembly members, the same position is what they used to say, as a governor, you are qualified.
Thank you very much.
So for me, it is what we need to do is our attitude generally, whether you are in government, whether you are not in government, whether you are outside. What we need to change is our culture, attitude, sentiments. I'm not opposed if we say some people want to go, that we can break down to 2 or 3. I'm not saying that is not, I'm not opposed to that. And I'm not opposed to if a devolution of power. Like if we are talking about let's devolve power, let the state control their own resources. I am for it. But to say the only thing we can do is to do a brand new constitution. We can amend the constitution as being amended. Just like it was amended to suit the position of to change the tenure of the IGP. The Police Act was amended. Police Act is a part of it, was from the Constitution. Because you cannot do any law that has no basis from or foundation from the Constitution. So as long as we continue to implement our law in that manner, no matter what law you do, it will not work.
Thank you very much, Emeka Madinago. It is believed that the constitution we are currently operating on is not a democratic constitution. And Emeka Anyango, leading to the president, said he wants a democratic constitution. And at this point, Nigerians ask, can we pour a new wineskin into an old wineskin? Now, looking at the leaders we have, those in the parliament, they've never been for the people because of the way they've led. Looking at the current state of things in the country, do you think they will do well if they are to change the constitution?
Well, first of all, the constitution begins with a false premise: we the people. It wasn't we the people, it was some people handpicked by the military that drew up the 1999 constitution. It wasn't the outcome of a constituent assembly, people by elected representatives. I think the Jonathan Constituent Assembly of 2020, the National Confab of 2014, actually approximated to what would have led to the people's constitution. But the sad thing was that Jonathan was too weak to walk the talk. They brought out things like BVN, like NIN, some changes. Yes, they brought some ideas. But Jonathan was more worried about getting a second term than about making needed reforms. And like somebody said, that Jonathan was the president who used reform to remove himself from office. Now, there are issues that we need to really address, whether we like it or not, from the get-go. One, Nigeria never came about as a result of a democratic or popular aspiration. Nigeria was concerned as a commercial agreement, just by a few people who were coupled together by the colonialists.
But Emeka, that narrative, don't you think it equally applies to other countries in Africa? Because we keep using that narrative. Don't you think the same colonialists must have used the same thing in other countries that are equally doing well?
Okay, we start with South Africa. We saw the resistance movement, and we saw the fact that South Africa got to a point where the people decided that we want to come together, we will live together, and this is how we live together. But from the word go in Nigeria, we didn't have a independence movement that moved in that direction. It was more about pandering to the interests of Britain. Okay, fine, we got a constitution. We moved on, and we knew it was very clear that Nigeria could work with regionalism. Nigeria could work better with parliamentary system. Yes, we had issues of Nigerian politicians, as usual, baiting the military. What happened? 1966, we had a coup, and everything scattered, and the military was there for so long. Okay, you don't see, try to say, okay, maybe this loose system, let's tighten it a bit. He brought Decree 34 of 1966, the military system. But there was a counter coup and said, no, you cannot impose, a military system on us. But as the military stayed long, the longer the military stayed in power, they now saw that, oh, wait a minute, this military system can favor us. We can use the command and control style of the military to run Nigeria. And then the same people who were criticizing Ironsi, who killed Ironsi, who took advantage of the situation, blaming it on, even up to today, they are still enjoying that military system. That is why you see the federal government telling you they will do rural roads, federal government telling you they will do hospitals, federal government telling you they will build schools. So all of those things, one from the foundation of Nigeria. Do we want to be one country? You must ask the people of Nigeria. Two, what kind of nation do we need? Some have said Switzerland, some have said South Africa, some have said different things. But you know what? We must take note that one of the defining features of those nations you mentioned in the prologue, was that they had strong men. We have not got to the level of building strong institutions, and that's why Yugoslavia, for instance, collapsed. So we must get to the point where we will decide on what is the status of what relation between the state and religion. Because there's too much incursion of religion into state affairs, and it's a problem. It's a major problem. Then devolution of powers. Why are local government not working? The constitution in one place, section 162, section 3 says that money from inflation account should be distributed to federal, state, local governments. Then you go further to other sections and just turn them to mere cupboards to the states. How do you define that? It's confusion. Then again, in terms of a number of other issues about the nation, about control of resources, some of these battles have been won through the Supreme Court, resource control and all of that. But you know what? We cannot maintain an activist judiciary that will keep changing laws for us, when through our deceitfulness, our self-deceit, we refuse to do the fundamental things, change the fundamental things, beginning from the Constitution.
So what you're talking about here, if I can summarize everything, you're pro new constitution.
No, I'm like Bryson said, we should amend it. But I'm not for a jamboree. You go and bring 3 people from each state and start a jamboree. No, I'm not for that. Look, Nigeria doesn't have a problem of ideas or of things we can do. We have a problem of putting square pegs in square holes, round pegs in round holes. And so, how do we do it? Take the 2014 constitution, the 2014 National Confab report that dealt with a lot of things. And then let Buhari came into office with the idea that he was a messiah. And that's why he crashed. He failed spectacularly. Because he came in with so much bitterness. It was not necessary. That's why you saw he was fighting us. He didn't want to implement the Confab report. He didn't want to, until everything started pressing on him. And some of those problems now, he transferred them to Tinubu. Now, Tinubu should just get the National Assembly. Debate that 2014 Constitutional National Confab report. Debate it. Let that be the basis. Start from it. Then if there are other things, what you can do is this. You can go to the people, not bring some elites, Go to the people and the grassroots. Ask people to submit memoranda. Right now, people are submitting memoranda for the constitutional review. Hold public hearings. Let people say their minds. Then you now have a new people's constitution.
Ambassador Tunji, he talks about
you see, the point is this. All the issue they say is a problem in our constitution. The question is, can they be amended? Yes. If yes, why must you go through the org of a new constitution? And like he said, the 2014 confab, nobody has said that this confab, the outcome of the confab is very useless. Even those who are promoting this new constitution now, they are making reference to it, that they made a lot of good whatever. Why can't the government go back to it and then let's implement what is in it? Like you said, it's jamboree as far as I'm concerned. All of these things, this issue of conflict regarding local government autonomy or whatever they are talking in constitution, it was not originally the way it is today. It was based on amendment. So if you can amend the constitution to do that, why can't we amend it now? Like I said, I agree, it's not perfect. And if what we are looking for is to include a referendum, you can also amend to put a referendum clause in it. If you are, what I say is that, look, let's go into unitary or whatever system or whatever. It can be debated as well as National Assembly, and they can say either approve or not approve it. So, for me to say, until we have a brand new constitution that is different from this one, we start afresh. We start Constituent Assembly, 3 people, elite, who does not even understand what the people is. They go and pick one or so people. They say they are the poor or the poorest, who is also part of them. Who after that Constituent Assembly became a rich man. And you see. The point is that let's look at what can be amended. Let them bring us, let them highlight the area they think is problem in those constitutions. And let's ask our question, can't it be amended? If answer is yes, we don't need a new constitution. If the answer is no, then we can say no constitution.
So buttress what you say. Over the years, we've had a problem of what do the constitution and the electoral act say about INEC's role as regards monitoring primaries.
Okay.
And the problem was just one word. One, may. The use of the word may. INEC may. And so politicians were cashing in on it. But after the fiasco in Anambra, APC, in the governorship primaries, where Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun declared the result, without delegates, as evidenced by what the former Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige said, Dr. Chris Ngige. So the National Assembly now said, no, that there must be the use of the definite word shall. And so may change to shall. It now brought a new definition. So some of those things were deliberately worded to create problems. But if the constitution is rewarded in some of those contentious areas, you will find out that things will be much easier. Then we can also now ask the states themselves, what is their role in all of this? Because some states tell you they want to implement Sharia. Why do we keep pretending, no, it should not be this, it should be that? Let's debate it. Nigeria, the country, will be one. Let's debate it. All those areas, because even the 2014 confab also had no-go areas. They had no-go areas. Those no-go areas will be put on the table. We must debate them, so that we'll stop loss of lives. Because if previous constitutions had referendum, why is it not in the current constitution? If any part of Nigeria says that, listen, we don't believe in one Nigeria, we don't believe in the sovereignty of Nigeria, let's debate it. And if they present a strong point and they want to go, so be it.
Yes, I do not know what because it's very, very important. Nigeria is not an island. We've seen the presidential system of government that we're operating right now we got from the United States of America. I do not know what the constitution in America says, but every state seems like an autonomous community. I do not know. Do you think there's a caveat that puts up the need for, because issues like a referendum, It's one dicey, very word that, if allowed, people might abuse it. Now, do you think we should maybe put together caveat, and set out some words that we think might break us apart rather than making us come together?
No, it cannot be abused if we are truly sincere. With this abuse we always often make reference to is because we are not firm.
Yes.
You can only abuse if people allow you for you to abuse. The other word, you know what is clear, you start changing it and bring your own interpretation to it and become law. That's what we call abuse. So, and it's often common with government. Whenever they want to achieve a particular goal, a clear provision of the constitution will be interpreted in a different way from their own, using just a simple word like may or shall to say because the constitution says may, so I'm not under obligation to do it. I can do it this way, this and that. I remember when the Electoral Act was amended, when they talk about the transmission of the results electronically shall be at the discretion of the I was one of those. I still have it in my who said, look, these are they have created an avenue for an insincere electoral officer to maneuver. And that was what happened in 2023. I was right. And you see the people have again that most of the people are in the assembly. These are people who don't even understand why they're there. Some of them don't go through this paper. This paper, this bill that they pass, they don't go through it. They don't read it. Even the budget. This was confirmed by one of them, Lingi, Senator. He said it that all of you should come and tell me. Any of you here that will tell me should come and swear that he read through this bill before we pass it. That's why you see a bill we send today in the morning and the afternoon have been passed because they didn't go through it. They don't get any debates.
Look at Cybercrime Act.
No research.
Look at the Cybercrime Act. Not research.
So, and because some of these people will have here, and you see some of them will talk, and you will say, so this one is a member of the National Assembly. His job is pushing it to us. When we talk about the government not doing well, he will say, hold government to account. What is the job of the National Assembly? Because all of us cannot talk and cannot go to the president. That's how you are appointed. So we are supposed to be holding government to account on our behalf. But then what they will do, say, you people should hold the executive to account. Leave us. As if they are also isolated from the people, or as if they are just there on their own. They forgot that look, they some of them don't even recognize again that they were representing people. In other words, they are the spokesperson of the people. So whatever they say is people asking it, and whatever people want them to ask is what they tell them. If they are going to convey those information to the secretary, they will be defending it, and that's why it's difficult for anybody because people are talking about constitution amendment. Is there anywhere in the that says National Assembly should be fixing a salary for themselves? Is there anywhere in the constitution that says, look, anyone that is not qualified should be elected? Is there anywhere in the constitution that says, look, as a police officer, once there is riot, use live bullets? Is it the constitution? Is that the point of the constitution? It's not the constitution. It's enforcement. The way we enforce law is we enforce it in a different way to suit our purpose. Is it the constitution that says what another is made against the government, they should not obey it? They should choose the one they want to obey.
Thank you, President.
Then because they see themselves above the law. The law is that look, everybody is equal before the law. The one we see in Nigeria is that Mr. A will commit an offense, then because it's in the category of those who are in charge, he will be excused. Bawa was suspended for what? Allegation. Bawa was suspended on what? Allegation. Magbu was suspended on what? Allegation. Better Edu was suspended on what? Allegation. Ojo, minister, is still retained his position. What they say? They say because it's an allegation. So if you continue to implement law based on sentiments, what our justice now today, to an extent, is now his eyes open. You can see very well now. Sometimes only few of them don't see. The judge of the justices that we have in the country today. I'm not talking about judges, I'm talking about our justice system. You can see now. So as long as you continue to operate in that manner, there is no way you can get results.
Very true.
So if you like, go and amend constitution, go and do new constitution every year, every month. While we are implementing the way we are implementing today, we will implement the same way. What we need to plead to tell ourselves is to change our mindset.
Thank you very much.
It's to change the way and manner we think, and it's to see, and it's to change that thinking that look, once you are in government, you have to become rich. Because even Nigeria, we talk about a governor who doesn't have a keke before he became a governor. You now say he has a private jet. That's he's not a governor.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. Let's get to your parting shot in 60 seconds, please.
Well, laws are made for men, not men for laws. And it is honest, sincere, and courageous men and women who actually make laws have an effect. So, clearly, yes, the constitution needs to be amended, and we've done that. Fine, we know the origin of the constitution was on a false premise, but the National Assembly could have actually changed the declaration with the people, to a declaration that we, the representatives of the people, having obtained the mandate of the people of Nigeria as the National Assembly, hereby present so amended constitution. That will take care of that.
Yeah, well, they need to amend that preamble.
Yeah, that preamble. They need to
amend that preamble to
because they are elected. So instead of change the preamble and then go back to your people, hold public hearings, the solar public hearings, hold everything, come back. The areas, deal with them. But be courageous enough to go to those no-go areas. Because we have been killing people needlessly because of unnecessary no-go areas. The military, what are they doing? Fighting unknown government services, fighting bandits and terrorists. Why? Basic things you should have done using even existing laws. You refuse to do them. Then you now increase the number of poor people in the country who can easily be, lend themselves to crime, to socio-economic, to things that work against the country.
Thank you.
And then you now bring bullets at them. It shows no level of reasoning in government.
Thank you.
And I mean it.
That's true.
So let the National Assembly amend the Constitution based on the will of the people of Nigeria.
All right, so this is just the size of our package today. We'd love to say thank you to you for giving us your time whenever we do call. For more information, please visit our website at enterprisetvnews.com, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry.
And I'm Choma Okoye.
On behalf of the entire team of Enterprise Television, we'd love to say thank you for watching, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.